Welcome to the JWK show. Thank you for tuning in. Quick thank you to crypto exchange BITUNIX for sponsoring the JWK show. Get your XRP by using the link in the description below. We have Reese Merrick confirming the XRP Insiders Ripple member we have on November 19, and then the dominoes started to fall. And we have from Mr. Poole all the way back in 2022, and that is the dominoes falling down, Japan causing the dominoes to go down. So it all starts in Japan. If the Japanese yen collapses, if we see the Japan economy going down, we will see the global economy, the rest of the economies also going down, a market crash happening. So watch out for Japan. We have Japan's 10-yield bonds going absolutely parabolic, and this means that interest rates are going higher. It is more expensive to borrow money. Thus, we do have essentially investors selling their assets and to essentially pay back their debts, their yen. So Japan has a major connection to the markets. We essentially have to save the yen, which creates a global margin call, or we will see hyperinflation and then the yen collapsing and then the economy, the markets collapsing anyways, right? So what will happen? We do have the reverse carry trade, and that is when investors borrow in a low yield currency like the yen and invest in high yield ones. And now with the yen getting more expensive to borrow, they are selling their assets and again returning to the yen, paying back their debt. So we have Bitcoin dumping again as Japan is set to unveil a 21.3 trillion stimulus. So Japan has two options that they must take. First off, we do have the charts. Every time we have USD, JPY forming a red candle, we see a red candle forming in Bitcoin as well. So again, guys, Japan is connected to the crypto markets, and we have Dom Kwok also talking about Japan as well. So what is going on and how is Japan affecting our banks? With Japan approving a massive 135 billion stimulus package financed by issuing government bonds, JGBs, and to help its people deal with rising prices and strengthen its economy. We have cash handouts, energy subsidies, etc. But at over 240% of GDP already, Japan's debt threatens to trigger a global fiscal crisis, and markets are bracing for impact. But why is Japan so important? Well, Japan is the fourth world's largest economy, and too much debt is deadly. Right back in 2008, we had the entire market's economy collapsing. And Japan's debt is already twice the size of its economy, and investors are rightly worried about Japan's worsening fiscal condition. So Japan must soon choose whether to stabilize the yen, its local currency, by allowing yields to rise, triggering a fiscal crisis and risking its huge debt becoming unmanageable, or to keep rates artificially low, devaluing the yen lower and lower. And how is this affecting U.S. stocks and crypto? Well, when Japan government bonds volatility rises, global funding costs rise as well. And since companies are valued by discounting future cash flows by funding costs, the higher the funding cost, the lower a company's present value, and therefore the lower its stock price today, right? If borrowing gets too expensive, then funding gets expensive as well. Everything gets too expensive, which then affects revenue and so on. And since tech and crypto are correlated, both have dipped bigly. So we have cryptos, tech stocks taking a big dip due to Japan. And again, Japan has two impossible choices. They are trapped between two choices, and that is raising rates, triggering a debt collapse, or keep rates low and watch inflation destroy savings. And Japan, guess what? They have chosen door number two, and that is continuing to print even more money. We have every major bank, hedge fund institution on earth has borrowed yen at cheap rates and invested it elsewhere for 30 years. This carry trade could be worth anywhere from 350 billion to 4 trillion. Nobody knows the real number because it's hidden in derivatives, right? So we could see up to $4 trillion being wiped out from the markets, causing the stock market, cryptos to crash down even lower. So again, guys, watch out for Japan. We do have the second option, and that is their stimulus package having an overall economic impact of $265 billion. It looks like we have a pandemic-like stimulus on its way, lots of money printing, which is bullish for the markets, but this is essentially kicking the can down the road towards hyperinflation, and ultimately, when the yen goes down, we will see, again, the entire markets, the global economy collapsing. So all they've done is just kick the can down the road. That way they can solve or encounter the problem at a much later date. They don't want to solve it right now. As right now, you're still in the bull markets, and they must push the bubble even higher. We have the Japanese yen falling to its weakest level against the US dollar since January 2025. And guys, this has been one of the craziest market runs 2025. A lot of market manipulation going on. We have from the 1%, okay, make the most pro-crypto president in history win the election. Now send his own meme coin to zero with no bounces. Okay, now send random tech stocks 1,000% instead of crypto. Now use these tech companies to spy on the population. Double the cost of living. Okay, now give their jobs to immigrants. Blame job displacement on Chinese manufacturing and start a tariff war. Wait till they sell it now and do the tariff war. Okay, now convince that 4-year cycles aren't anything anymore at the top of the 4-year cycle. Now start the tariff war again, shut down the government, tell them they have a gambling addiction, okay, give boomers more tax breaks and send their gold to all-time high because they worked harder, and wait till boomers die and then send the dollar to zero, right, guys? Very rigged game. They control the entire markets, but the only thing we can do to win is by holding XRP long-term, dollar cost averaging, as guys, the 1% are making XRP essentially successful investments like Apple, Microsoft, and so on. So even though there is manipulation happening in the markets, guys, just like Apple, Microsoft, and Tesla, if you hold long enough, you'll eventually be rewarded. Same thing with XRP. And lastly, another funny trading meme. Liquidate everyone, destroy their lives. Amazing, do it 7 more times. Again, this has been the craziest bull market ever. 2024 to 2026. We can see, guys, we have XRP now trading at $1.94. In my opinion, this is a great time to buy even more XRP, and if XRP goes down, buy even more. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.